Welcome back, beloved viewers, to Daniel Udofia Animations, where faith meets storytelling. We're grateful for your continued love, prayers, and support for this channel. To all our loyal members and new viewers joining us today, thank you for being part of this journey of faith, courage, and redemption. In part 1, we watched how Daniel's steadfast devotion to God brought him mockery, trials, and even imprisonment. Yet, he stood firm, trusting that light always breaks through darkness. Now, in part 2, the truth is revealed, justice speaks, and grace shines brighter than ever. Sit back and watch how God turns pain into power, and shame into testimony. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we continue spreading messages that uplift the spirit and glorify the name of the Lord.
Daniel, this situation is both shocking and disappointing. Your name has been linked to an internal leak that cost us a major client. We've traced the confidential file sent from your company email to an external address. How do you explain this?
Sir, I can only speak truthfully. I have never, at any point, shared or leaked any information belonging to this company. My integrity is not something I gamble with. If any document was sent from my email, then it was either tampered with or sent by someone who had access. I value my name too much to stain it with dishonor.
Yes, Daniel, no one is accusing you directly. We're only trying to understand what happened. But the evidence is there. The file was sent from your account, and we both know passwords are personal. So, unless you gave someone access, it's difficult to see another explanation.
Raymond, I know the tone of your words well. You've tried to make me look uncommitted before, and now this? Do you truly believe that a man who prays before every decision, who works overtime without complaint, would destroy what he helped build? I have my flaws, but betrayal is not one of them.
Please, let's not make this personal. The board will decide based on facts, not feelings. And as you can see, the email trail points to your workstation. It's unfortunate, but in matters of company security, we can't take chances.
I expected such a day might come, the day when truth would be twisted to look like evil. I won't fight with anger, because my defense will not come from men. I have always trusted that light exposes lies in its time. If losing this position is part of that process, then so be it.
Daniel, I admire your calmness, but this is serious. The board insists we suspend you while investigations continue. If it turns out you're innocent, you'll be reinstated. But if not, there will be consequences.
I understand, sir. I have nothing to hide. You can take my seat, take the title, but please, don't take away my peace. Because that's one thing no one can steal unless I give it to them. I'll step aside, not in defeat, but in faith, because I know truth never stays buried forever.
It's really sad it came to this, Daniel. You had such promise. I hope you'll use this time to reflect on how easily small mistakes can destroy big opportunities.
I will reflect, Raymond, not on mistakes, but on how power can corrupt a man who forgets God's eyes are watching. You may have your victory today, but remember, the truth you bury in darkness will one day rise in light. When it does, I pray you'll still recognize yourself. Lord, you saw how they planned this. You saw how deceit was crafted to look like truth. But I won't despair. I know you have not forgotten me. Let your justice speak, not for my vindication, but that your name be honored.
Mr. Daniel, you are under arrest for the alleged leak of confidential company information. You're to come with us for questioning.
Officers, I understand you're only doing your duty. But I'm innocent of what they accuse me of. Still, I will come peacefully, because my integrity does not fear investigation.
Save your explanations for the station. We just follow orders. please, my husband is a good man. There must be a mistake, he'd never do such a thing.
My love, don't be afraid. Remember, Joseph was taken unjustly too, yet God used it to lift him higher. I will return, and when I do, you'll see that God's justice never sleeps.
Lord, if this is part of your plan, then let it end in your glory. Defend your servant. Move, Mr. Daniel. Thank you for watching this episode from Daniel Udofia Animations. If this story has blessed or inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Special thanks to all our channel members. Your support helps us create more faith-filled animations that touch lives. Remember, every story we tell points to God's purpose and truth. Stay blessed, and see you in the next video.
Daniel, you know why you're here. Don't try to play innocent with me. We have evidence showing that confidential company files were sent from your account. Do you realize the gravity of this offense? People lose their careers, and even their freedom, over such betrayal. Now, I'll ask you once more, why did you leak those documents?
Sir, I understand how serious this looks, but I also know that appearances can be deceptive. I did not leak any document, nor would I ever compromise my integrity for any reason. I have served this organization with honesty and diligence, even when it cost me comfort and friendship. If someone has done this, then I believe it is a setup, one designed to destroy me. But I also know that truth may walk slowly, yet it always arrives.
You sound very confident for a man facing criminal charges, Daniel. Most people in your situation would be begging for leniency or trying to cut a deal. Are you saying everyone else is lying, your co-workers, your management, and the digital evidence?
I am saying that I have nothing to hide. If you check deeper, you'll find that the same system that accuses me is the same one that has been manipulated by those who cannot stand the light of integrity. I've seen enough to know that doing what's right often invites false witnesses. It's not new, even in scripture, men of truth were falsely accused. Joseph was thrown into prison for what he never did, yet God vindicated him. My confidence is not arrogance, sir. It's peace, peace that comes from knowing that my Redeemer lives.
You're comparing yourself to Bible heroes now? Let's stay in the real world, Daniel. Facts don't lie. Data doesn't lie. You were in the office that night, and your login was used to send those files. Explain that if you're truly innocent.
I can't explain what I didn't do. But I know this, lies have a short lifespan. You may hold me here today, but time will reveal the truth. Even technology can be manipulated, but a man's conscience cannot be programmed. If my silence confuses you, it's because I have chosen peace over panic. I would rather suffer wrongfully than destroy myself trying to prove what God Himself will soon uncover.
You talk like a preacher. Maybe that calm faith of yours will be useful in prison. Because unless something changes, that's where you're heading.
If that's where obedience to truth leads, then so be it. I've learned that it's better to fall for righteousness than rise through deceit. You may write your reports, sir, but heaven keeps its own records too, and in due time, those records will speak louder than any courtroom. Lord, I don't even know what to say tonight. My heart is heavy, and my mind is clouded. I've tried to live right, to honor you in every decision, but now I'm here, in this cold cell, treated like a criminal. I don't understand why doing right has to hurt this much. I thought obedience would bring peace, but it feels like every step of faith only opens another door of pain. I stood for truth when everyone else chose compromise. I refused to lie just to please men. I refused to cheat even when others said it was harmless. I defended honesty when it became unpopular. And yet, Lord, Here I am, despised, accused, and abandoned. Was I wrong for trusting that righteousness would protect me? You said in your word that many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Psalm 34:19. I've repeated that verse to others, telling them to stand strong, but tonight, I can barely stand myself. I don't even know what deliverance looks like anymore. Is it freedom from this place, or just peace in the midst of it? Because right now, I feel broken, not because of the chains, but because I don't know how long this darkness will last. Help me, Father. I don't want my pain to turn into bitterness. I don't want to lose the light you placed in me because of what men have done. I'm not asking you to explain, just to stay close. Don't let this night silence my faith. Don't let this shame destroy my conviction. If you're still here, then even in this cell, I am not alone.
I said it from the beginning, all the church talk and holiness will one day put him into trouble. Look at them now. The man that used to carry Bible every morning to work has now been disgraced publicly. Maybe next time, he will learn that too much righteousness can destroy a person's life.
You're right, my sister. I always suspected that his so-called honesty was just the cover for something else. People like Daniel hide under a religion to pretend they're better than others. See where all his faith has brought him? Police cell. Shame upon shame. Maybe he should have done what every normal man does to survive instead of calling himself a saint.
And look at his wife, still walking beside him with pride. Grace, I pity you. You should have advised your husband better. What kind of head of the family lands himself in such disgrace and still claims God is with him? If God were truly on your side, wouldn't he have saved you from this public embarrassment? I understand that people will talk because that's what people do when they don't understand the ways of God. You may see shame, but I see a test. You may see a man who fell, but I see a man who still stands in truth. You think we've lost everything, but what we have can't be taken by police, or gossip, or mockery, it's faith. And faith, even when it bleeds, does not die. Faith. Please, my dear, faith doesn't feed children or clear a man's name. You'd better open your eyes and stop following that blind confidence. God helps those who help themselves. Maybe if he had done what others did, you wouldn't be suffering now. God does not bless corruption, He blesses obedience. And though today may look like shame, tomorrow may speak a different story. We would rather suffer in righteousness than prosper in sin. Because at the end, only one thing matters, who stood for truth when lies were easier. You may mock us today because you see pain, but remember that no story ends in the middle. The same mouth that laughs now will one day testify when God turns this shame into honor. I don't hold bitterness against anyone here. You have the right to speak your mind. But I have chosen to speak faith, even if it makes me look foolish for a while. Because I know that the God who sees in secret will answer openly. When Joseph was accused, they said it was the end, but God was only preparing the beginning. When Job was afflicted, his friends said he was cursed, but God was rewriting his testimony. I may walk quietly today, but I'm not defeated. My silence is not weakness, it's worship. My calmness is not fear, it's trust. Let's continue our journey. Don't mind her.
Maybe he's right. I've never seen a man so calm after all that disgrace. Could it be that there's really something deeper behind his faith? Sir, before you proceed with the day's agenda, I must speak. For weeks I've battled my own guilt. I've watched injustice thrive while truth was buried alive. Daniel, the man we called disloyal, was never guilty. The real betrayal came from within, from those we trusted the most. And I can't stay silent any longer, Not when I know that this entire scandal was not a mistake, but a mission ordered by you, Mr. Raymond.
Kelvin, I'd advise you to choose your words very carefully. Do you have any idea what you're saying? You're accusing your superior of corporate fraud. That's a serious allegation, and you'd better have something more than emotion to back it up.
I have more than emotion, sir. I have proof, and I have a conscience that has tormented me since the day you told me to plant those files under Daniel's name. You said, he's too righteous to be trusted. Take him out before he exposes us. I did as you said because I feared losing my job. But ever since then, I've lost my peace, my sleep, and my respect for myself. Shh. These are the transfers that went through your proxy accounts. These are the deleted emails ordering the setup. And here are the security logs showing that the supposed leak came from your private network, not Daniel's. Every false report, every accusation, all of it points back to you, sir.
That's enough. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you think you can just walk in here and destroy my name because you suddenly found religion? Who put you up to this, Daniel? Is he manipulating you from outside the company?
Wait. You're telling me all this was planned? That Daniel, the man I suspended and handed over to the authorities, was actually innocent all along? Kelvin, do you realize what you're admitting to? This could destroy careers, yours, and perhaps mine too. It's true, sir. Daniel hasn't even spoken to me since the day you ruined him. He didn't threaten me, didn't seek revenge. He just kept praying. That silence broke me. You wanted to destroy his image, but instead, you revealed his strength and your weakness. While he was in a police cell praying for mercy, you were here falsifying reports to protect your greed. Sir, you can intimidate men, but you can't intimidate truth.
You think this little drama of yours will change anything? Do you realize what you're risking? I built this company. I made you who you are. Without me, none of you would even have a seat in this room. Do you want to throw it all away because of some moral guilt? So this is how it ends. After all I did to secure my position, a man I tried to destroy becomes the instrument of my downfall. I thought silencing Daniel would silence his God. But I was wrong. You can't silence the truth. It echoes even from the ruins you create.
Sir, Daniel never prayed for your destruction. He prayed for your repentance. But since you hardened your heart, God chose to bring light into the darkness himself. You have a choice now: confess publicly and make it right, or let pride drag you down completely.
I can't keep silent anymore. My conscience has been restless ever since Daniel was taken away in handcuffs. He did nothing wrong. The reports, the transactions, the evidence, they were all planted. I was forced to manipulate the records, because Mr. Raymond ordered me to. He told me to make Daniel look guilty so that the board would have a reason to remove him from his position.
Wait, what are you saying, Collins? Is it true? Are you implying that the entire accusation against Daniel was fabricated? Do you realize the gravity of what you were confessing? You were talking about deliberate fraud against a man's career and reputation.
I know, ma'am. I live with the guilt every night. I tried to resign, but Mr. Raymond threatened to ruin me. He said Daniel's removal was necessary for the company's progress, and that it was just business. But it wasn't business, it was evil. This is ridiculous. Collins, have you and Kelvin lost your mind? Are you trying to destroy me to save your own neck? Everyone here knows Daniel was acting suspiciously. I merely asked for transparency.
Transparency? Mr. Raymond, do you call forging records transparency?
Because if Colin's words are true also, then this entire scandal was your doing. I reviewed the original documents Daniel submitted before the accusations, and everything matched perfectly. The errors appeared only in the final reports, which came from your department.
Raymond, how could you do this? You watched Daniel lose his peace, his reputation, his freedom, all while you sat quietly pretending to defend company values. What kind of leadership is that?
You're all taking the word of a frightened junior staff over mine. Daniel was always too perfect, too self-righteous. I just wanted to prove he wasn't the saint everyone believed him to be. Mr. Raymond, Daniel never claimed perfection. He only tried to do what is right in the sight of God and man. Even when you turned against him, he still prayed for you. We didn't understand why this happened, but now we see. It was so the truth would come out, and light would expose darkness.
Daniel, I owe you an apology. We all judged you too quickly. Your patience and integrity have spoken louder than any defense you could have given. I can see now that righteousness doesn't need to shout, it simply endures until God reveals the truth.
Mr. Daniel, stand up please. You're needed at the front desk immediately. There's been a new development regarding your case.
New development? Officer, I don't understand. Is everything all right? Has something else come up?
I'm not authorized to discuss the details, but I'll say this much. Things are not as they seemed before. The higher authorities are now involved, and someone has come forward with some interesting information. Please follow me.
Whatever this is, I only pray that truth is finally finding its way out of the darkness. I've waited patiently, and if this is the hour God chooses to act, then so be it.
You've kept calm through all this, Mr. Daniel. Not many would have handled it the way you did. Maybe patience truly does pay.
It always does, officer. It always does, when your hope rests in God.
Daniel, I don't even know where to begin. When the accusations came in, I was deeply disappointed because I believed you were one of the few men here who truly worked with honesty and fear of God. But the evidence looked so clear, so convincing. I failed to look deeper. I allowed myself to be deceived by those I trusted, and in that mistake, I permitted injustice to fall upon a man whose only crime was integrity. I cannot tell you how sorry I am for everything you've endured.
Sir, I understand. It wasn't easy for you either. I was confused and broken for a while, but I chose to keep silent and trust that God would fight for me. I have no anger toward anyone here. The humiliation, the nights in custody, the tears of my wife, they all taught me something priceless, that truth never dies, and no weapon formed against a righteous man will prosper. I forgive everyone involved, from the highest to the least.
You speak with a strength that humbles us all, Daniel. When we learned that Raymond masterminded the entire plot and coerced Collins into falsifying the records, I was speechless. I kept asking myself how we could have allowed evil to flourish under our noses while condemning the innocent. I couldn't sleep last night, thinking of how you must have felt watching your good name dragged through the mud. Yet here you stand, calm and forgiving. That is not weakness, that's divine character.
Sir, I believe that God allowed this for a reason. Sometimes He permits His children to be thrown into the fire just to prove that their faith is real. I have no bitterness left in me. I only want to return to my duties and serve with the same faithfulness as before, if you will still have me.
Have you? Daniel, I don't just want you back, I need you back. The company needs men like you now more than ever. From this day forward, you are reinstated with full honor, every benefit restored, and a public apology will be issued in your name. In fact, I'm recommending you for the upcoming board promotion. You have proven what no test could measure, true integrity.
Daniel, I've worked in corporate settings for over 20 years, but I've never witnessed something so profound. You've shown us that righteousness might be mocked for a season, but in the end, it speaks louder than corruption. I deeply respect you.
Thank you, ma'am. My heart is full. I only pray that this incident will remind us all that justice delayed is not justice denied, and that truth, no matter how buried, always finds its voice when God decides the time is right.
Welcome back, Daniel. The company is honored to have you. This time, we won't just see you as an employee, but as an example of faith in action.
Thank you, Lord. You turned my pain into testimony.
Daniel. I don't even know how to begin. Every word I rehearsed fades the moment I see you standing here, calm and radiant, like nothing ever happened. I wronged you in ways that words cannot describe. I allowed pride, jealousy, and the hunger for power to blind me. I plotted against you, dragged your name through the mud, and made you taste humiliation you never deserved. Yet, after all that, here you are, not bitter, not vindictive, but standing firm in the same grace I tried to mock. Daniel, how can a man like me ever find forgiveness in your heart?
Raymond, I knew this moment would come, not because I desired your downfall, but because truth always finds its way to the surface. What you did hurt me deeply, not just because of the betrayal, but because I once looked up to you as a leader and a friend. But in my pain, I also found a deeper understanding of God's mercy. You see, I cannot receive forgiveness from God and then deny it to another man. If Christ forgave me while I was yet a sinner, who am I to withhold forgiveness from you? So, yes, Raymond, I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because grace demands it. Fred, guilt is a prison worse than the one I was locked in. Don't stay there. Let it drive you toward repentance, not regret. God doesn't expose sin to destroy a person. He exposes it to bring healing. If you're truly sorry, then rise above this moment. Be a better man than you were yesterday. Let the same God who stood by me stand by you too.
Daniel, when I heard the confession from Raymond, I felt my heart sink. I was part of the whispers, part of the laughter behind your back. I didn't lift a finger to defend you when they threw you in jail. I told myself it wasn't my business. But now, I see that silence in the face of evil is also evil. Please, forgive me for my cowardice.
Peter, I don't hold anything against you. You may not have spoken against me, but now you have spoken truth, and that matters more. What is done is done. Let's not dwell on who failed or who stood aside. What matters is what we do from here. I want each of you to remember this. I didn't survive because I was strong. I survived because God was merciful. That same mercy is reaching for you right now.
Daniel, you're a better man than I'll ever be. I used to think strength was measured by control and position, but now I see it's measured by humility and love. I don't deserve your kindness. Thank you for not letting my wickedness make you bitter.
Raymond, we've all fallen short of God's glory. Don't let shame bury you, let it transform you. I believe your story isn't over yet. Rise, my brother. We can all start again.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have witnessed a truth that humbles every one of us. An innocent man was condemned, and yet, in the face of betrayal and disgrace, Daniel chose forgiveness over vengeance. Daniel, I want to personally thank you for showing this company what true integrity looks like. You have taught us that strength is not in power, but in character. However, while forgiveness is divine, justice remains a responsibility. Those who conspire to destroy your reputation will face the full course of the law. This is not out of bitterness, but to remind everyone that deceit and corruption have no place here. From this day forward, this company will not only reward hard work, but also honor truth and righteousness. Daniel, on behalf of the entire management, we deeply regret what you went through, and we celebrate the light of God that shines through your life. You have not only been vindicated, You have inspired change in us all.
Thank you for watching this powerful continuation on Daniel, Udofia and Interrogations. To every member and faithful viewer, we say, God bless you richly for standing with us. Daniel's story reminds us that when we trust God in silence, He speaks loudly in our defense.